What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 309 of the Cheesy Controller Podcast. I'm your host, Anton LaPlatte. Joining me, as always, we have the Ray Trace Durag Madrid Devon.
From now on, I'm opening all my packs on podcasts.
And we got the most generous squid in the sea, Jalen Roberts.
You know, it's just an electric card. I could pull one of those. It's okay.
We got a jam-packed episode for you guys this week. We're going to be talking about how everything is an Xbox, PlayStation handheld rumors. We're going to talk about Call of Duty, Marvel Legends, Arcane, and we're going to go over some of the largest games available on the PlayStation 5. All right, so this breaking news I see on Blue Sky as soon as we start the show, like I'm literally putting together like the finishing touches on the notes, and after 31 years, Shuhei Yoshida is leaving PlayStation, which like Shuhei is one of those names like we've lost over the years, like Adam Boys, Kazurai, like the different names you would know like associated with PlayStation, and it felt like Herman Holst is still there, but like and is co-CEO of PlayStation now, but Shuhei was one of those names. Like Shuhei was he did the Indie Initiative early on in the PS4, so was responsible for a lot of games coming over, and then eventually went on to work, I think, as like second party relations for PlayStation Studios. So that would have been stuff like Rise of the Ronin, Stellar Blade, stuff like that. So it's really just like PlayStation has been like the PS5 generation, I feel like, especially 2024, has just PlayStation has been there. It's not as bad as the early PS3 era, but I feel like PlayStation's lost. They closed Japan studio. Like they just lost a lot of the things that a lot of the reasons why I liked PlayStation. Like I prefer PlayStation. Like I'm not going to jump ship over to Xbox because thousands of games in the library and like still a lot of the IP that I like, but yeah, I mean, end of an era. It looks like he's leaving January 15th, 2025.
Yeah, this kind of wild, dog. Like he really set the tone, and he did a lot for like different types of games in that space. He was really that person pushing the indies forward and like giving them a real platform to like, shine and be present and get that love and spotlight. He just has like a lot of love for like the games industry and video games in general, and it really showed in his work. And him leaving, honestly, it's going to be rough for PlayStation because like a lot of that magic has been evaporating with them. They tried to go the soulless live service route, which we see hasn't really been working out for them. A lot of the missteps that they've done comes from like chasing like, you know, being a part of corporate greed and trying to like finance those things or get like unlimited budget works and things like that, and it's just not fucking working for them. So
Well, the part of the problem is that's one of the only things that is working for them. Is
the
their God of
unlimited
Wars,
budget,
their Spider Mans, their Horizons. That's one of the
yeah,
only things.
but those are super expensive. For one, those are super expensive, and two, like they haven't been putting those out consistently anymore.
Right,
Because game development it takes fucking 7 to 10 fucking years now to
right.
give us one of those.
So, like,
And
scope.
it's not sustainable. Like, yes, scope, absolutely.
The scope of these games are all entirely too big, and then unfortunately, the smaller games of those smaller scope that we do get out, they don't move the needle. They don't get enough coverage and attention for people to buy them, and they end up being some subject of a video essay in like 5 years when it don't matter anymore.
Most of the video essays I'm watching are about games I'm either playing in the AAA sense. Like, I have a harder time finding those video essays on like the actual hidden gems than I
Mhm.
do like Pokemon Legends. Arceus is one of the best selling Pokemon games of all time. Like, people don't like, that's not actually a hidden gem, you know?
Yeah, and I think part of that comes from your and then a part of that comes from your access to those smaller scope titles that really fill out your library, the double A market, as we used to call it, you know? And
Oh, the double A, the
right, and
forgotten genre.
right. And so since, we're not getting as many double A games, and the ones we do, once again, struggle to move the needle and get out there. Like a lot of times it's a if you know, you know. Uh I feel a little bit better of this because I mostly play on PC, so it's a little bit easier to find. But it's like you're either playing it either has to be big enough to get a fandom around it in a cult class and end up becoming an instant classic, like mouthwashing did. Uh,
I just heard about that game today.
yeah, I think it just got to consoles recently, but that is a game.
That's what
Eh,
I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's a game, all right. But you know, with the Japan studios did that. Heck, it even did some good support for the Vita.
Yeah. Japan Studio, like, that's one of the crazy things in Astrobot. Like, this year, like, Astrobot just feels like like, it's a great game, but like, what the tone that I'm getting out of the game is like, yeah, this is a monument to just a bunch of stuff that we're not going back to. Like, the majority of the references
Yeah,
in there that I like, sure, there were some more of the modern things like
more like
sand
a
portal bridges.
mausoleum.
Hmm.
More like a mausoleum.
Yeah.
Just a shrine to the dead.
Yeah, I mean, it like pays reverence to a lot of those things, and yeah, there are some ongoing things in that game like that are going to continue, like Guilty Gear stuff. Like, we're probably getting another Guilty Gear after Strive. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that's there's going to be another Uncharted. There's going to be another Last of Us. So stuff like that. But a lot of the Japan studio stuff, like, we're never getting another Gravity Rush. Is that Gravity Rush 2's fault? Yes. But it's like the Mirror's Edge problem. Like, Mirror's Edge, people like Mirror's Edge for what it was, and then
Yeah.
they took the wrong lessons and made Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I feel like the wrong lessons were taken from Gravity Rush 1 when making Gravity Rush 2. But it did have a 2B collaboration. So
Well, that's a win.
it was
Wherever
the first
wherever 2B
instance,
is a
yeah.
win.
It's the first instance of Nier showing up somewhere other than Nier that I can think of.
Ah. This may be a me thing, but Anton, your screen's frozen.
My screen
I
is.
think I think it's a me thing. Hold on, I'm gonna leave and come back.
I'm just gonna let the overlay be broken for a second. You can see me move though, Jalen?
Yeah, no, you look fine for my screen.
Yeah. And both of y'all looked fine on mine.
Yep. It does feel like, this is just the side effects of where gaming as an industry has been for the past couple of years. Like everything's either super big to the point that it can't sustain itself, or it doesn't get the reach to really get a chance to make something of itself.
And then there's the shovelware problem on Switch and PlayStation. I don't know what it's like on X. Like Steam, I feel like I'm in. So in order of like the three major like platforms that I use, like Switch has the most shovelware out of any of them that I'm encountering on a regular basis. Like I am seeing complete trash games that are like $1 that I guarantee you they're not even selling 1,000 copies. Hold on.
Oh no, that's absolute true. That's also because, unlike the Switch, Steam views it as a problem. That's the only reason Steam's better than the Switch, because they understand that crap is kind of a problem.
Yeah, but like
The shovelware.
it's crazy. Yeah, the shovel, like the fact that Steam, the most open of these platforms, has the least amount of shovelware that I'm running into.
Why do they call it shovelware? Like you're shoveling shit? Is that what it
Yes,
is?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, that's what I always thought. I'm glad I'm right.
Yeah, no, it's just that.
Yep. Shoveling piles of shit. But so it's Switch has the highest amount. Then PlayStation has like the second highest that I'm encountering on a regular basis. The PlayStation Store, if you just type like the word simulator in and you get past the first few that are like Goat Simulator, Farming
Yeah.
Simulator, Power Wash Simulator.
Power wash.
Euro
Right.
Truck Simulator.
Right. You'll get past the PC Build Simulator. Like, you'll get past those and you'll get into stuff like that's just complete trash, utter garbage. If you just go sort the PlayStation Store by new releases of full games, like, you'll probably have to scroll pages and pages and pages to find something even that came out like last week, like Dragon Quest. Because there's just that much garbage on the PlayStation Store. And like if you go to a new releases list on a system, it hurts not only first party titles, it hurts all your indies, like actual legitimate indies. It hurts all your it really hurts your AA, because they don't necessarily have the budget like Star Wars, Diablo. Like a lot of these bigger properties have just straight up bought out the PlayStation Store. Like you'll load up the PlayStation
They'll
Store.
be up there big as fuck.
Yeah, it'll be like 4 separate tiles for one game.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I kind of hate the PlayStation 5 UI is because it was just like made to pitch certain games to people. Like I am scientifically designed to sell you some shit, as
At
opposed
least
to be
it's
like
functional
aesthetic.
and fast. Like
It is functional and fast, but if I could have that speed in the on the PlayStation 4, just UI, which I feel like they've definitely made the PlayStation 4 worse since the PlayStation 5 has come out, because my shit is way slower than a PlayStation 4 Pro has ever been.
Well, the PS4 just like over time, it doesn't do super well with like managing its cache and actually deleting shit you're deleting, and so
I've removed everything off there except for streaming.
and that's probably where part of your problem's coming from. It has a bunch of like phantom data, just it's trudging through all this. It's like Destiny used to be here. How many hours of Monster Hunter?
Over here's where Overwatch was back when it was 6v6 and didn't have a 2 in it.
But yeah, so not dealing with Xbox at all. Xbox has put out a campaign that epitomizes why I have don't see the point in anyone owning an Xbox console for any reason going forward, because they have this ad campaign going where this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, this is an Xbox, and it's showing you stuff like Fire Sticks, it's showing you laptops, it's showing you phones, because all of these things conceivably are ways to play Xbox games. It'd be really hilarious. I know they can't do it, but if they put PlayStation, because Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Grounded, they've already there's a first party Xbox
The
Studios
Master
game.
Chief Collection's on the way.
Yeah, that is it's
It really is. It really is. Like
we're barreling down this road. Indiana Jones isn't out. And we already know the PlayStation 5 release date for that game. So
the Great Circle is the fucking circle button. That was the hint.
we know Doom the Dark Ages. We know like pretty much like other than Avowed, and I could see Avowed honestly coming over because they're putting it on BattleNet on PC. So
Yeah.
But also,
Avowed is a game that should come over to PlayStation.
But also, I think just in general, we should start seeing the death of the console exclusive, simply because these. No, I'm not saying it's going to happen soon. I'm saying we're going to start seeing.
As long as the Nintendo exists.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you
It
gonna
will
have to
never
burn
die.
Nintendo to the fucking ground.
Yeah, but
It will
it's
never
really
die.
more of the fact that it's like most of the non-in-house studios are going back to multi-platform releases. Like
Yeah,
we're starting,
they absolutely should.
Xbox, even their in-house are doing.
Yeah, I understand that, but I'm saying like with the
I mean,
way
Xbox is a publisher at this point.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. But also with the way game development prices are ballooning because they still haven't figured out how to, get things financially under control. We're gonna start seeing more AAA games be multi-plat in general, just so they can have the audience to pay for itself. Because these single consoles no longer have the ecosystem to really, really sustain these AAA prestige games.
Yeah, because I mean, through the Insomniac leaks, we saw that like even Spider-Man, the like best performing PS4 game, is like, well, best performing first party PS4 game because there was a whole GTA 5 right there. That wasn't enough. Like Spider-Man wasn't enough.
Yeah,
for PlayStation's expectation.
When you just look at the inflated budgets, it's kind of hard to ever hit that, like even with their install base, you're probably not going to hit that.
All right, Nintendo.
That's like next to impossible. You gotta wait for the PC release in like 2 years from when the shit comes out.
And it's like we're getting to the point where it's like studios can't survive that. Like
you can have a successful game and then
like
so
you have the extra audience. So it's like you're going to see. This is also why. Outside of Nintendo, because that's actually the thing Nintendo's good at with the scope of their games. Their games are never like too massive that they don't end up becoming profitable. So, we're going to start seeing less giant AAA in-house games.
Well, I mean, Nintendo is like, because it looks like the Switch 2 is going to be about as powerful as the PS4 Pro. So they're still going to be at a power deficit. But considering their best-selling Switch game is a game that originally came out in 2014 on the Wii U.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we think about it, all things considered, the PlayStation 4, that generation, we really kind of hit a saturation point with that. Like everything with it, like the graphics, the way shit runs, honestly is all very good. Like for the general populace, you are fucking fine with that.
If you're playing
hitting that point on a handheld is going to be fucking magical. Where we're at now, we're in this weird space where it's like, oh well, we don't have all the bells and whistles. We want them all, and then that gets more and more expensive. And shit just kind of runs faster. And you got the pisser over here for $700, and I'm not paying $700 to get pissed on.
Right. And it's also like what you need to do when you need to continue selling something new. We're not getting like y'all have to have these giant newsworthy fucking things. newsworthy features, but then it's like when you get down to them, you ain't using that shit. Like an action button on a new iPhone. Why do I need to open my camera just a tiny bit faster?
Who gives a flying fuck? And a lot of there are like two innovations in gaming that people go for now. One, a new way to monetize you, and two, making the game more meticulous for no reason. And that could include like just cranking up the graphic fidelity, which includes increasing the development time substantially, making the shit just like boring
That's what
spectacle.
this is where we get a bunch of very pretty dead open worlds.
Yeah,
You know, it's like
of my time.
Also, I thoroughly believe the reason why we went towards graphics instead of focusing on gameplay is because most people can't write about gameplay experience. They can't actually write how the gameplay feels because of whether it be time crunch or just a
Is it
not full
hard to put pen to
understanding of the
paper to
genre.
evoke those emotions?
Yeah, and so I think part of the reason why, so we ended up in a feedback loop where all the news coverage goes towards things like graphics and all that stuff.
A lot of that comes from the crunch of all the games that are coming out and the sheer length of those games.
Right.
If we went for more bespoke experiences, you have less time. You'll spend less time in that game and have more time to write. You could even play through it again, or have somebody else play through it too, and like really go through your thoughts together. But we're in the hellscape where they want all your time and all your money.
Well, speaking of all your time and all your money, I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6. And that for sure is a game that wants, like, it's already gotten me over 1,000 kills in less than like 2 days of gameplay. Well, no, I guess it's Tuesday. I guess I would have played
Tuesday, innit? We're recording on a Tuesday.
Chew. So I'm guessing I got it on Saturday. So I played Saturday, Sunday, played a little bit last night, and haven't played it all today. So yeah, about 3 play sessions got me over 1,000 kills. In the low 40s with my level. And this game's really good, but every single step I take, it's trying to sell me the black cell. Like,
whoa. I don't like the way they're trying to sell black, you know?
Everything's black.
I also don't like the way that certain people say black. You know, they say it like that, black. And it feels racially charged.
I was just trying to do the Call of Duty voice. But, you know.
My point exactly.
Oh, I'm so glad they have kept my settings. I think, like, definitely back in the PS4 generation at some point on my Call of Duty account, I said mute anybody who is not my friend, and it's been great. I haven't heard a single person talk. Like, I see people have mics. It's just
not
by default
slur.
muted. Like, yeah.
Just playing your little shooty game in peace.
Yep. But this year, so the monetization since they've started doing Call of Duty as a platform has been crazy. Like, it's been worse than Fortnite levels of like, hey, you're going to spend a lot to get a little. And like, luckily, I didn't even have to pay for the game. So
nice.
Yeah. And I don't like, I'm leveling up the battle pass as I'm playing. They're like, you could unlock 17 rewards right now.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing. I'm like, I could see myself playing it, but I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah. That's the thing.
And now they set that precedent with Game Pass. And I don't even have Game Pass, but I don't want to pay for it.
If Game Pass had an option for you to play the PlayStation version, would you subscribe then? Because that's the only version of the game that exists that isn't like available on Game Pass.
No. Game Pass is doing a detriment to the industry in the long run, and I think that supporting it financially will fall outside of my ethical code of conduct.
Yeah, I respect that.
And it's going to make me harder to vote with my wallet when my money is going to every game in their fucking catalog. And with certain games getting a bigger cut, because that's just how it shakes, right?
Well, I mean, Call of Duty is Microsoft Game Studios' biggest game release ever, so.
Yeah, no shit. It's a Call of Duty. Every Call of Duty is the biggest Call of Duty ever.
Yeah, well,
And thus
it
whoever's
down
publishing it.
I mean, shit, we got a whole legion of PlayStations now have something new to do. Like, you got people whose entire console is to play Call of Duty.
I mean, it takes up enough space for your entire console, so
it's gotten better. Like, I actually was able to see the file sizes from Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3,
I think part of it is
Black
the fact
Ops
that
6.
this is why I don't complain about it on PC, because at least, because I don't know how you do this on console, but you can just decide what you have on you. Like, you don't actually need.
I don't know how to deal with these consoles anymore.
I don't know how y'all handle memory like that. It's like, because on PC, you don't actually have to have everything.
You do what with your RAM?
All that I have installed on my PlayStation are the Call of Duty Hub, which even on PC you have to have that. The Black Ops 6 campaign and the Black Ops 6 multiplayer. I don't have Warzone installed. I don't have anything for Modern Warfare 2 installed, anything for Modern Warfare 3 installed. So I want to say like the file size on my system right now is under 100 gigs. For me to have this year's in.
That's a lot, but fairly reasonable. That's still a lot, but that's fairly reasonable.
I realized how big Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was this week, and
have you not seen them particles? Have you not seen them particles?
That's the reason they're pushing the pisser, you know?
It's like, hey, even
like
more
150 particles. Gigs for a single player, like.
You know what else has a lot of particles, but it works? Metaphor Refantasio. Just saying.
It's a different kind of particle going on there.
Yep.
They use art style to their advantage. Final Fantasy VII,
as you should.
They use hyperrealism to their advantage in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and in my opinion, like.
But do we need it? Final Fantasy VII was the biggest JRPG, and it had fucking polygonal figures. I think people wouldn't give it a flying fuck of how good it would have looked.
Nah. Like, no, Final Fantasy VII...
As long as it didn't look like shit.
Final Fantasy VII was like a showcase of what was possible through the PS1. Like, that was why it was like, such a...
7 was a technical marvel. It was a graphical marvel. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah.
But it also had art style. Not that Rebirth doesn't, because it does. From what I played of it, the game looked good.
All right, so I just brought up a list of the 15 highest file size games on PS5. So we got Elder Scrolls Online, 89 gigs. Gran Turismo 7, 89 gigs. Final Fantasy 16, 90 gigs. Sniper Elite 5, 91 gigs. Rise of the Ronin, 96 gigs. We're at number 10. Spider-Man.
How dare they? Who gives them the audacity to charge us that many gigs for that mid-ass game that I didn't play? So take that with a grain.
We got Marvel Spider-Man 2 at number 10 at 98 gigs. We got Far Cry 6 at 101 gigs. Horizon Forbidden West at 101 gigs.
How dare they?
Baldur's Gate 3 at 108.8 gigs. Then,
you okay, baby? You good?
That's very reasonable for a game for that much voice acting.
For that much a game, it makes sense.
But then we have a major jump up to the number 6, which is Destiny 2 at 143 gigs.
How dare they charge us that much gig space for a game with vaulted content? That much vaulted content.
We got number 5, NBA 2K23, which is 143 gigs.
They charge us that much in gigs for that gambling simulator, that casino simulator.
We got number 4.
Just for the game to be worse than the previous one.
We got Final
That's
Fantasy
a law of
VII
diminishing
Rebirth
returns.
at 145.7 gigs. This is, see, some of the, we're in the top 5, and I have at least 2 of them installed. I'm not going to have 2K23 installed at any point, not even if they give it to us for free. Okay, so
it's an RPG in the heart of it. It's a black simulator.
We got 7 Rebirth, 145.7. Then we have Star Wars Jedi Survivor at 148 gigs. And then Black Ops Cold War with everything is 219 gigs. This list, there have to be inaccuracies.
Probably.
Because, so they're saying number 2
AI.
is Black Ops Cold War at 219 gigs, which that is definitely not how much that is taking up on my PS5. I would know for a fact if that's how much space Call of Duty is taking up.
Cold War?
Oh, true. Oh, okay.
With everything.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And then I was confusing Cold War with Black Ops 6. Because I was like,
I see how you can make that mistake.
yeah, mixing up Black Ops 5 with Black Ops 6. But then the number 1 game with the largest file size that is available right now on the PlayStation 5 console is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, the 2023 version that is over 240 gigabytes. And so it has multiple campaign packs, Warzone, multiplayer, zombies, and
that's too much.
Yeah. That I completely skipped last year's Call of Duty, and 240 gigabytes is just one of the many reasons nobody should play that game.
Yeah. And I see why, casuals always complain about gaming space because they got COD installed, Madden, and 2K. There goes all your space right there.
I have Final Fantasy VII, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Yeah, those are the only 2 in the top 5 that I have installed. And even going down the list, I don't have Destiny, don't have Baldur's Gate, don't have Horizon, don't have Far Cry. I think I deleted Spider-Man 2 even when I platinumed it. Don't have Rise of the Ronin. Don't have Sniper Elite 5. I do have Final Fantasy 16 installed still. So that's a 90 gig chunk. And I have Gran Turismo 7 installed.
Still trying to finish that DLC?
I just don't think, I keep it there just because, I have...
To taunt you?
Well, no, I have all the Final Fantasies available on PlayStation installed. So I have 1 through 10, 12, 14, 15, 16. All installed, so... It just, I have no intention of playing 12 anytime soon, but it's going to stay installed on my console out of respect. I couldn't keep 7 Remake and Rebirth, because Remake is 100 gigs, and Rebirth is in the 140s, so couldn't do both of those, but...
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, Rebirth really might go after, seeing that number just in a top 15 list format. I know I'm not going to platinum it. It might have to go. See, Chase in the chat spitting facts that we need the Final Fantasy 13 remaster trilogy on PS5.
You know, we might actually get that when 7 Rebirth is when the 7 remakes are done.
I think we'll get it next year.
Nobody involved with 7 Remake should have any involvement with it. All they have to do, because
No, I'm not saying they have involved. I'm just saying when. I'm just saying when I think it's going to happen. It's probably going to be around.
Any day.
Wholeheartedly think that game's going to come out next year.
Hey.
For me, it's that any day this could drop. Like the way Freedom Wars Remastered just out of nowhere from like somebody we absolutely didn't expect, and it's like, okay, thanks, that's cool. Like it's gonna be one of those. It's just like a random Square Enix newsletter email that's like, hey, by the way. Or it'll be a Final Fantasy. Hold up. When is Final Fantasy 13's 10th anniversary?
We ain't already past that?
We may or may not be. Hey, Neil. Just busting my room. That's fine.
Because it came out in the cursed era of
2009.
JRPGs.
So yeah, 2019 would have been, but let's see, the worldwide would have been 2010. So we're coming up on the 15th anniversary of Final Fantasy 15 or 13, and we still don't have the remaster trilogy.
What if we get a 15 remaster before?
That would be funny. That would be funny. No. It would be a 16 remaster for the PS5.
It doesn't have a pro patch. That's one of the games that needed better performance out of the console version with Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a pro patch.
That's where we're going to get the pro patch.
It's just going to be a $70 release.
Yep. This is going to be a $70 re-release.
Oh, they smoking dick if they think I'm paying full price for that. Balls too. Like, no. No, even though that game is apparently fully completed now.
But are they done fully selling it?
I was really playing that shit, and they were like, "Yeah, check back later for this story segment right here. You can only do it with Noctis right now. You can't see what they got going on. Not right now. Come back later."
And you can't even do it from that point in the game. You have to, if you want to see what was going on in those branching segments, you have to like quit the title screen and load specifically into the DLC chapters.
They really say, "Yo, if you leave this country right now, you won't be able to come back for a long time."
And then you can go back immediately.
Do everything you want to do. And then it's like, oh, a long time. You mean a time skip after several hours of a completely different video game? Then come back to this game that doesn't exist anymore? Okay. Thank you. Oh, man. Whew. It's hilarious.
The last development we've had on Final Fantasy 13 was in November 2018. It was added to Xbox backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Which is still the best, like an Xbox, a modern Xbox is the best way to play the entire Final Fantasy 13 trilogy, even over PC. So yeah,
it's like saying this is the best way to drink bleach, you know?
Okay, here's the thing about it is, here's the thing about
bleach.
13 is not the equivalent of drinking bleach. It's not. It's better than that. It's like I will acknowledge how bullshit 13 is, but I do believe it deserves better than how it's treated. It's not bleach.
I like Shuhei going.
You know what it
I
is?
like Shuhei going 13 because I
coffee.
spent so much time with it, and I never got that pleasure out of it. And I spent hella hours playing that shit. And then one day
was better.
one day on that third disc, I was just like, why am I doing this to myself?
Oh, I'm not gonna say that's not what happened because that's what happened to me. I don't even think I made it
the
to the
power
third
of the
disc,
PS3, it was only one disc. It was a Blu-ray.
and it wasn't powerful enough to get you to play it that far.
I played until I got stuck.
I played till I got stuck. And
That
just
Brent
to,
Hilder fight, like, this is well-worn territory on the podcast, but part of the reason I want this remaster is for my web redemption, so I can go in there with an adult brain and curb stomp that Eidolon.
so you could fight Broomhilda with Mike Epps. Because Shaz is just a non-funny Mike Epps.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just a non.
I'm like, you just sucked all the humor out of him and made him a boring dad.
Well, because all the humor
This is
went
what
into
we
the
get.
chocobo.
The chocobo and his fro.
Yeah, that's where all the humor went.
And all the charm went to Barrett.
Well, it's because they didn't have to remove the humor out of Barrett.
He's like Liquid Snake. He's like, they made me with the parts left over from you.
Even though he was 2 console generations beforehand.
Yeah, it's been sitting around for a while. And they're like, all right, we need another black guy. It's been a minute.
It had been a minute.
Yeah.
And it's been
Yeah,
a
it
minute.
really has.
The last one didn't even have it. Well, no. 7 Rebirth. There's a lot of black people in there. Like even the NPCs, they're like, "Yo, we not like 16." Whoa.
But yeah, so. Oh, we got a raid. DEG raid. I've actually been listening to DEG lately. Like, that's part of my weekly podcast rotations. I've been listening to Granddad and BV.
What's good?
These part 1 and 2s are killing me. Might have to, like, catch their live stream one of these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about PlayStation and the direction they're going as a first party. How do you guys feel about their next move in hardware being a handheld PS5?
I'm with that, like, because that's what everybody wanted with the Portal. Yeah. So if you can do that, deliver that to us in a timely fashion, we're here for it.
Yeah,
And at a reasonable enough price point. I gotta also add that caveat too.
Yeah.
But we'll see how that works.
I will say, one thing that has helped me play more games simply is my Steam Deck, because I could play it from different rooms and get all lounge comfy, not console comfy. So, like, Sony having a handheld that I could play in bed would be very, very nice.
And at this point, I've spent so much time cultivating my PlayStation library, like just having that in my fingertips. It's not
the
my
power
phone.
that Jalen got out of the Steam Deck, but for you, like, it's like, oh, these. And so the one thing that
there's so many JRPGs I would just spin the block on, so I could just go lay down or sit on my couch and play it.
The World Ends With You has 0 chance of getting played at this desk. Infinitely, like, increased by being able to play that game handheld.
Infinitely. Like so many of those series, like the Pixel Remaster Collection, I really just go tear through that shit now using something like that. But
see, for me, all of those things are like any turn-based RPG that I'm going to be remote playing, I'm doing it on the Steam Deck.
Yeah, because like with the Portal, I haven't gotten it because I can't fully justify it just yet because I have my phone, I have a backbone. Ultimately, I can play remote play there, and a lot of the things that I do play would require like better latency. So I would want to just play it like directly on the console. Um, I kind of see the vision with the portal. Like even right now, I'm like, oh, if it was a Christmas gift, I'd be like, hey,
Yeah, I mean
okay.
that'd be dope.
I'm like,
Anybody
all
listening
right,
want to gift me
yeah,
a PS Portal? That'd be cool.
right. I'll fuck with
And
it.
PlayStation Plus Premium, because chilling at this
Ugh.
essential level. Well, you need premium to stream the PS5, so they updated the firmware out of
Oh,
nowhere that any PS5 streaming games that are available on premium, you can now stream to the portal without your PS5 as the middleman.
oh, that's cool, but nothing about the premium tier.
Yeah, like I had
Even that,
premium for a year, and
like that price point is still much too steep. Even like the extra price point has gotten to that point where it's pretty fucking steep. It does make a lot of sense if you don't want to buy video games, and they put a lot of good games on there that
right.
you have, like a constant stream of games that you're probably interested in, and that one that you really want, you can just buy that. However, that shit will come through like a thief in the night if you're not ready for it, and that's a large chunk to just go missing one day.
Yep.
That'll set you
That's the
back.
same situation with the portal for me. It's like I have a Steam Deck where I can remote play these games on my local connection or over Wi-Fi. I haven't tried it. I have my phone with my backbone that I can
Mhm.
stream either on my local network. That's something that's a little bit more convenient. Like the Steam Deck, it's just cumbersome enough that I won't play it in bed, but I will straight up touch control sometimes on my
Yeah,
PlayStation, remote playing it on my phone.
yeah. I definitely get that. But yeah, I would definitely want a handheld because, like I said, like the market is definitely there for it. Like people have been conditioned with the PSP, with the Vita, and now with the Portal, and even like before that, just having remote play on your phone. Like people want to be able to stream these things like that, and the Switch has shown just how clutch it is to have a portable console that's also your main console because it's just that good. And if you're packing the power of a PS5, which is that jump above the PS4, like we talked about earlier, you're kind of cooking. Now you just have to make sure that the price point's there and the aesthetics are there. Because the Portal is just really you split open a DualSense controller and stuck a fucking tablet in it.
Yeah, but when you're holding a controller, you're not looking at it. So, and especially in a situation like that, you're holding the sides and looking directly at a screen. So it doesn't really matter what it looks like.
But it's a handheld thing, so you want to be able to carry it around in like a cool, convenient type of way. Like with the Steam Deck, it works because it's all pretty.
It
I would say it's
comes
pretty
with a case.
ergonomic. It comes with a case, and
And
it's
even
not
when I
like
take my Switch,
it's not one of these. That's what I'm trying to drive home. One of these, there's no good way to do this. It has all these different angles and shapes. The Steam Deck is all just a fucking deck. You feel me? It's just all flat and
I
smooth
mean,
and
all it
like
would need to be is a big
ergonomic when it
Vita.
needs to be.
It would just need to be
There
a
we
big
go.
Vita.
A big Vita would be perfect.
yeah, but then it wouldn't have adaptive triggers and haptics and all this stuff that they're going to make you have.
They don't
Because
even
that's
use
like
that
you
shit no
can't
more.
play
All I heard was a bunch of words.
you can't play PS5 games with PS4 because they're that dead set on every especially first party game needing adaptive triggers. So and Astrobot wouldn't be the same. Like if I remote played the
I was about
entirety
to
of
ask, what was the
Astrobot,
last game you played? But Astrobot, but they had to use it. They
Call
had
of
a gun
Duty
to their.
has
They had a
pretty
gun to their
decent
head. It was like,
haptics.
"Yo, you got to use these shits.
A
You got to use
Microsoft
them.
first
Figure it out."
party has decent haptics on PlayStation.
It's a Microsoft first party made to sell games on the fucking PlayStation.
I mean, it's made to
So
just
they had to
create
do what
money.
they
You know,
had to do.
we really are in the dark future.
Yeah, totally. Well, speaking of being in the dark future, Marvel Rivals is collabing with Fortnite. because everything collabs with Fortnite, and Marvel Rivals just. So apparently, there's going to be a because Disney signed this major agreement with Epic a few years ago, and we've started seeing some of the fruits of that. One of the things is the Marvel gaming umbrella, so things like Marvel Snap, Marvel Rivals. There's some other like mobile multiplayer Marvel product. They're all crossing over with Fortnite. So I'm actually excited for this because my most anticipated December game is Marvel Rivals. So I'm going to be playing that day one. But I'll also get bonuses for it in Fortnite, which, like, Fortnite's definitely on the back burner right now playing Call of Duty, but, I'll always take more cosmetics to build up my collection in Fortnite. Just to have more options the next time drop in on the island.
Yeah, I get that. Like I said, I'm still just thirsty for Marvel Rivals. I know I said I was gonna maybe, possibly, potentially, maybe play Overwatch Classic for the plot, but I haven't downloaded it yet or even really thought about it much after I said it. So.
And nobody here is mad at you for it.
We'll see. But if the people demand to stream, who am I to deny them?
All right. So we only got a couple more things on the dock for the week. We're supposed to have this be a shorter episode. And I don't know if either of you have watched it, but Arcane Season 2, we have all 3 acts available now.
I watched 2 episodes.
You watched 2 episodes. How are you feeling so far?
First 2 episodes. I mean, I like it. I was rewatching Season 1, like leading up into it, and I was just waiting for the 3rd part to come out to really lock in and start watching it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it.
You saw the Linkin Park like cameo, or heard the Linkin Park song?
Maybe, sure. Vi becoming a cop though, still it bothers me. But I guess she's always been a cop.
There's a whole.
What that is?
We'll stay out of story just because it's hard to talk about the show in a story sense without spoiling anything. And while I do feel like this second season is a lot more style over substance, like if you can appreciate animation and you can really appreciate like some of the techniques used in the show.
It's like stylistically, this shit is next level. Like those are particle effects right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
And they actually use the 24 frames per second of like being able to throw a frame in there and like have it be super effective, not necessarily in the same way that, it would be in something going at 60 frames per second, like inserting one frame, you're not really going to get that. But at 24 frames, inserting one frame to like just take that animation to the next level is really like
it's
going a long way. There are some effects in that show, like, and I was talking about that going into watching part 3 or act 3, that it had already done some of my favorite special effects in anything animated I've ever seen, and they just like they add a handful more in the final act that it's just like y'all didn't have to go this hard.
It's so good. Like that's one of the things that I really honed in on when I was rewatching season 1. I'm just like the effects of like the attack animations, or like when somebody, like when Vi connects a punch and you just see that
impact frame.
Yeah, that impact frame, just that shattered space all around it. It really fucking sells it. Or like looking at Jinx just fucking tweak out, you can just see like, she's really cracking at the seams type shit. Yeah, Arcane is special. It also has a very special budget attached to it.
Right.
Yeah, and they've already announced that they're doing 3 more League of Legends shows. So like,
Okay. Look, the next one is going to be Noxus. That's where we're going. Okay.
wait, is that the three-eyed raven or is that
Okay. The three-eyed raven is associated with Swain, and Swain's entire thing is the power struggle he has over Noxus. But also, Mbessa works for Noxus. That's where the red in her color scheme for. And I think she's Shuriman. I think specifically she was a mid-range Shuriman family who got in bed with the Noxans, which are a bunch of colonizers, who are a bunch of industrials colonizers who were once ruled by a metal man who has killed Death, who is now Metal Death.
so is Noxus the place you were saying you were like, yeah, Piltover and all of that's like interesting or whatever? Was you there was a specific setting you
Okay. There's hopefully
What is the plot of League of Legends? Go.
uh there is
we
no
don't have
well
time
actually
for
there isn't an
even
overarching plot. It's
Give us the
mostly
abridged version.
there's no overarching plot. It's basically you got a bunch of what nations are doing. Basically, each nation has a series of storylines going on. So basically, like how Arcane is Piltover and Zon, you could make an TV show off of that. Then you can make a TV show about Demacia. You can make a TV show about Noxus, and you can make a TV show out of like the Freljord and shit. But what I was saying is, if you really want to make a good show, you got to do Mount Targon, because everything that you saw in Arcane that they were doing with Piltover and Zon, Mount Targon has it up to 11, and there's a dragon that throws the cosmos just hanging up there at the top.
So why are they all fighting in lanes?
Okay, so originally,
is it to decide who's top and bottom?
Actually, yes, it was originally the League of Legends
Age-old struggle
was basically an intermediary, so the nations don't destroy the world with their magics and shit.
It's a proxy war.
Yeah. They go into their lanes, they have their little proxy battle, and no one dies. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Noxus, is that one of the places that you said during season 1 that would be an actually interesting setting for?
Oh yes.
Because they did a lot with Piltover and Zon.
Oh yeah. Oh, here's the thing about it is like, oh yeah. Oh no, you wouldn't believe like, because the thing about it, like, you know, all that political scheming that was really happening in part 1 that we had a little bit of part 2. Yeah, Noxus Jinx wouldn't have been able to pull off what she did to them at the end of season 1. Not to Noxus. Like, you think Mbess is a terrifying person? Darius is going to be running around. Fucking Darius.
Oh yeah, I played the fighting game and fuck him.
Yeah, Darius. Yeah. But yeah, like some of the magic stuff that was happening was stuff from the Black. It's very much we're going to Noxus next. And that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think they've already confirmed like the settings of the 3 shows that they're doing with Netflix going forward.
Is it going to be in the same universe?
Yes.
I mean, it's all in the League universe.
Yeah,
I get that, but it could also be like, this is an isolated incident that's completely unrelated, and this is another isolated incident completely unrelated.
I mean, they could.
Even Arcane kind of works like that in certain ways.
I mean, it could, because number one, the way Riot treats stuff is that, you know, there are parallel universes of League. There's the skin universe, and Arcane is considered a skin universe now. So, like, you know, it'll have its own mirror of things.
That's more so my question. Like, is it... Because it goes into my next question. Is it going to be done by the same studio that did Arcane?
I know it's the
or
same
do we not know yet? Gotcha. Because that will make a difference. I mean, you know, it could be for better, for worse, whatever. But, you know, I would like to see it.
Okay, so League of Legends shows Noxus, Elonia, and Demesia are getting shows. They're far from done.
Yeah, that would be Noxus because she's a rising family in Noxodian power plays, and they like their power plays.
So 3 shows have already begun pre-production about a year ago. Yeah, it's the same showrunner. I'm not seeing if it's the same animation studio or anything like that, but it's going to be Christian Link, who was responsible for season 1 and 2.
That sounds like the next version of Christian Mingle.
It's Linke, so it could be an app. Right. And so the last thing for me this week, I put about 20 hours into Pokemon Legends Arceus before obtaining Call of Duty, and so I picked back up my stinky Switch. That game doesn't run as terribly as I remember it running. Like, especially comparing it to Scarlet and Violet, because I've had to go into Scarlet and Violet for Pokemon Go reasons.
Has Scarlet and Violet run better since you've gone back?
No. It's gotten worse as they've added more content to the game.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
There's a whole like mini game that's like required in the first DLC that
it involves you just clipping through the universe. Oh, so it's the new Blue Lock season, just a slideshow. Heard.
But yeah, Legends Arceus, probably the best Pokemon game. I forgot how good of a concept it was, how well realized, like, Hisui and his character. Like, sure, it doesn't have voice acting. Like, and so that...
What about Typhlosion?
That was cut content. That didn't happen. He was trying to strike a chord.
We don't know that. Typhlosion was suing for defamation.
It's not even for defamation. It's because they were using bots. It's like getting Al Capone on tax evasion. It's like, that's not what you really got him for, but...
Yeah, I'm seeing lawyers say that case is flimsy, so... All right. Does this have you excited for Pokemon Zaza?
Yes. Immensely. The one thing I just hope the Switch 2 its backwards compatibility like gives games a boost, because while this is a good game, it's the
like
same
literally if the
with
game looks the same and just has a better frame rate, then we're good.
I mean, Legends Arceus, as far as I can tell, unless you're flying and it has to like render a lot more because you can see a lot more, like it on the ground, like running around on a mount, like even like through rapid traversal, it seems like a pretty steady 30, which like for the Switch, like that's
sturdy 30.
Monster Hunter Rise, we played at 30 FPS for like a year.
Was it 30?
Yeah, no, it was 30.
Up to 30.
Right. This is like also up to 30, but it's more consistently at 30 than I was expecting after my last Pokemon console game being Scarlet. But yeah, going back to it, like there were Hisuian versions of Pokemon that like aren't in Pokemon Go yet, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I put a bunch of shinies from Pokemon Go into Legends Arceus. I actually got a new shiny out of Legends Arceus because there's one that you get as a reward for a mission. I haven't encountered any in the wild yet, but I'm not done with the game yet. Like, I've defeated all the noble Pokemon, but I still have like the end of the like main story. I'm currently getting the components to make the red chain. So,
Mhm.
but I know there's that. Then there are all the post game requests, which include like catching every version of Unknown. There are these like wisps scattered around that involve Spiritomb. All there's Shaman, Manaphy. Then there's also like Landorus, Thundurus, and Tornadus. Because I forgot they introduced Enamorus in this game. There's a lot in this game, and I'd like say that it's all really good. Like it could use voice acting,
Yeah.
definitely, but like
I mean,
like any voice acting would have helped. Like any.
like Pokemon. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah,
And I
this
don't
is
think they
kind.
have
This has
any
been a
intention.
major problem since the 3DS, but now we're like almost. Well, we know we're getting Legends on next, and then it'll be Gen 10 then, and Alola was Gen 7. So we've only had 8 and 9 on the Switch, but we've had 2 generations
Yeah. I mean,
of.
people. Sword and Shield was apparently a 3DS game that they brought over to the Switch, right?
Hey, I enjoyed Sword and Shield. Like
I
Sword and
loved it.
Shield was a great.
I I loved it. I was like, yo, this is fantastic. Probably not my favorite Pokemon, but hey, it's up there.
I think Legend, like outside of Emerald, Legends Arceus might be my. Oh well, we can't count Pokemon Go or Pokemon TCG Pocket or anything like that. That's just
Pokemon
like
Go, the game that just has people mobilizing to map out the world for them. Where y'all pay to map out the world for them so they can make more money off y'all.
yeah, I mean it's Niantic. Like we.
And they're probably going to sell that to government agencies to use that to suppress the people when
Oh
shit
yeah.
goes to shit.
Oh, this is literally how the machines are learning urban warfare. That's how they're going to learn how to fight your ass in your own house.
I know you love this corner of your house, motherfucker.
Right? You'll be at
I knew
this
you'd be there.
at this desk for several hours a day.
We put a shiny
7 days
Mewtwo
a
over there,
week.
nigga. I'm like, no, Anton, don't leave the house. But there's a shiny Mewtwo. I gotta go.
Oh man, I'd really yeah.
I gotta risk it all.
Mewtwo's like the
you
number
just see the
2
Terminators walking around. Like it's worth the risk.
Mewtwo's the number 1 psychic attacker in the game. It's like the number 2 overall like best Pokemon period, and it doesn't even have its Mega form. Like once they introduce Mega Mewtwo X and Y, it's going to be even better than Mega Rayquaza. So
See, and look, you hear him going on an entire essay on why he's gonna get sniped by the police robots for a fucking Mewtwo. Like,
They set out there just to pull you specifically out of your house.
you know, they're just gonna be cycling through Pokemon. They're gonna be like,
they do that already. Regieleki and Regidrago start appearing in raids
Right
tomorrow.
now, we really need some pictures of this house down the street. You know what?
you know what? This week on Pokemon Go, your home can be a Pokestop.
Pokemon
To be
geolocator.
fair, the like AR scanning stuff, I haven't done any of that at least since April because you only can have one of that kind of research in your research at any time, and I got one that the mission is scan Sun
They
Goku.
weren't playing about research.
Right?
They're right in your face with it. They're letting you know.
There's special research, there's timed research.
Oh heck, they want you to take fucking pictures of the Pokestop for their AR mapping
Yeah,
shit.
that's what I'm saying. The AR mapping is really like the stuff that's kind of new, like that is really being used to train the AI models. And that's the stuff that I haven't done since April.
Oh, they're using it all. That's just the most recent crop of it, you know.
I mean,
That's all right. We filled out all of this information. Now we just need the photos of it.
we need not. It's not just a photo. It's not just hey, take a
we need you
picture of
we
this.
need you to scan this
Right,
house.
we need you to hold up your phone and walk in a 360-degree around it so that we can have a three-dimensional model of it.
Wait. Go ahead and pay us first. And then
It's fucking shiny origin DL,
Got him. Oh, there's this new event going on in Pokemon TCG, though, like the fire
Yeah,
spotter or whatever.
they're
No.
wonder picks with like all fire types or fire types and items. Just
Finally
Mhm.
got myself that fucking Blaine. I need like one more Vulpix for a decent Blaine deck.
I need a Moltres desperately.
Jalen, you drew a fucking Sabrina probably yesterday, day before, and you know what? I did a wonder pick because there was like, hey, this is Sabrina here for you, and I cannot pull this bitch no matter what I do.
Oh, yo, you mean that regular Sabrina I got? My first fucking Sabrina? I was like, God damn it,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
Finally.
Do you know how many Charizard packs I've opened to no avail?
Do you know how many Charizard packs I've
Fuck
opened?
me.
Like,
I'm out
me.
here. I'm trying to get Magneton. I've been trying to get Magneton nonstop. I've opened nothing but Pikachu packs for like a week now, and I can't get
Once
it.
you pick a pack looking for something, you're never going to get
But
it.
it's
you
only
know?
available in that pack.
My point exactly. You're
Right.
not gonna fucking
right.
get it.
Heck, I stopped rolling on Pikachu packs because I wasn't getting it electric types. That's how I ended up on these Charizard packs.
And I'm just gonna stack points until I can just buy the Mewtwo EX myself. And honestly, by that point, they're probably gonna put out a new fucking pack that makes
Yeah.
Mewtwo the last news. You know?
I mean, it's really now the game's been out long enough and people aren't just obsessed with those like tier 1 decks, i.e. those super easy to pilot ones like Mewtwo and Pikachu. There's been a lot of other decks like it's been all right.
My Mewtwo and my Pikachu deck still.
I mean, I need the Sabrina for my Dragonite deck. Like, that's my problem, and I need 2 of them.
Oh, you guys would be mad. Like, I see Juwan in the chat wondering where his Raichu is. I've gotten so many Raichu.
I have yet to see a Raichu.
So many Raichu.
The Pikachu, Raichu.
Yeah, I do have multiple different full arts of Pikachu EX. I have multiple Zapdos EX, so my electric deck hits. But at this point, like I could have a good fire deck because I have enough Charmanders, Charmeleons, and I have regular Charizard and Charizard EX and Arcanine EX, so
I will say the Moltres Charizard deck is really good if you don't get hoed and you just don't draw your fucking Charmeleon till your very last card because this game fucking hates you.
Yeah, if you don't have 2 Charmander and Charmeleons,
dog, I have 2 of everything in that deck. I still didn't pull shit.
you're kind of boned. I mean, yeah, I've been in that situation before. I remember I was fighting Anton one time, and I had everything I needed, and I just couldn't. I could not draw a fucking Dragonair. Oh, I couldn't. I have 2 Dragonites. I could not draw one of them to save my life. They were at the bottom of my deck, both of them. I'm like, bro, my whole deck is contingent on pulling one of these motherfuckers.
like, and it was hilarious because the turn, like, my turn, I killed his Dragonair, and then it switched over to his turn, and he pulled the Dragonite.
Dragonair wasn't even supposed to be out there.
Just fucking
Oh
brick.
yeah, I did force Dragonair on the front lines.
With a Sabrina.
Oh yeah, I have all the gym leaders now. I use pack points to make sure I had all the gym leaders. I got a bunch of the basic Pokemon,
Do we need the gym leaders for the Mew, or is it just the 151?
just the one
151. The
150.
Mewtwo's are, yeah, my bad,
150.
150. The gym leaders are another
Yeah,
one
they're
of
a
those.
different challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I
I
think those
can't.
challenges work towards the
They just give
legendary
you
birds.
they just give you a I thought they gave you a fucking whatever the pack points are. The ones that are named after the actual pack, not regular pack points.
I
The
can't keep up with
genetics
all the
Apex.
materials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those tokens, yeah.
Oh no, I think it gives you the good shop tickets that you can use towards emblems. But there is an emblem. I know one of these hidden challenges, it gets you an emblem that's Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno. So
You're right. They do need to let us trade.
it's
It's
supposedly coming in January. We'll see.
January. Fuck.
I'm willing to bet they're only going to let you trade cards you already have.
Uh, mm,
I'm making that call now.
that fucking
Wouldn't
sucks.
make any sense.
Yeah, that absolutely would make 0 sense.
Yeah, they're probably just. Hopefully, we get another pack then too, and some more.
I think we're
mods.
getting a new pack in December.
Oh, even better.
So I think we're getting the new pack and then we're getting trading.
Because I want to. I desperately need to switch it up. And it's so funny. Like you look like why are steel types in this game? Like why the fuck are there steel types in this game?
So that they can give me 1,000,001 Bisharp cards?
Oh my god! If I get another fucking Bisharp, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna fucking lose
That's
it.
the whole reason steel types are in the game. Is to give
Just
me
to piss me off. Like what the fuck?
All right, so
I'm
missing.
gonna use it on the one Wigglytuff that somebody fucking uses. I'm gonna be asleep.
On it, he will.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna get to use it. Like what the fuck?
So the 8 cards that I'm missing from the original 150: Beedrill, Flareon,
Big Dick
Moltres,
B.
Magneton, Alakazam, Muck, Weezing, and Snorlax. Those are the 8 that I'm missing for my immersive Mew.
I'm missing a few of those. Where can I check that?
So that is a very tedious process where you go to your cards, you expand it to show the entire list, and then you scroll through and tap the ones that just have a number, and it'll tell you. And for this, you can use EX or regular. So certain things that I only have the EX for, like Articuno. No, Articuno I only have the regular. Something I only have the EX, but don't have the regular. But yeah, you just got to go through that list, and if it's Gen 1, like I legit just had a sticky note and wrote down, like went type by type and was like, okay, I'm missing card 211, that's Snorlax. I'm missing card 117, that's Weezing. And just kind of did that.
Yeah, I'm missing about 50 cards in total, so I'll do with that math what I will.
Well,
it's
overall, I'm missing 19 cards because I have 207 out of the 226. But I have been very liberal about, like, okay, I don't even feel like trying to pull for this card. I'm going to spend pack points on it.
Yeah, like I said, I've been stacking my pack points for something very specific, which I don't know. I don't even care if I get any more, honestly. So now I just can't stop stacking them.
I mean, you could get a Sabrina with pack points and solve
I
a lot of
could.
your problems.
It would, but then I'll have nothing to pull for, Oh,
Opening packs. Oh, immersive
Oh,
Charizard EX.
got the
Let's go.
Charizard. Let's go.
and I got another Charmander to go along with it. Let's fucking go, baby.
I got
Yo,
9 minutes to my free pack.
look at that. Look at that. Yeah, zoom in on him. Yeah. Yeah. Show me that long girthy Gyarados. Yeah. Oh my god, Mr. Mime blocking it. Oh my god, busting down Ash's mom.
I have
Fuck
6
it.
hours and 49 minutes until my next pack, and I have 1 hourglass and like my
Nice.
only option to open packs is to spend money, which I'm not about to do.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, my firepower deck just got more fire powered. Let's go. And I got another Arcanine EX earlier.
All right. Well, does anybody have a one more thing? I'm just trying to keep this episode under an hour, and we're almost at an hour 20.
Nope.
Nope.
All right. Well, remember, until next time, you can follow us all collectively around the internet, cheesycontrollerpodcast.com. You can follow me on Blue Sky at Anton6. Madrid, where can people find you?
Frank Motion, also on Blue Sky.
And Jalen?
Gwyd Bishop on the internet.
All right. This has been a Know It's Good production. The video version is edited by Chris. The audio version is edited by Akuma Santi. The descriptions are written by AI. And until next time, keep it cheesy.